but anyway, in which the logic can definitely be optimized for
Not today.
Today, we're diving into the world of hydrogen energy with Dr. Danica Malkovic, a driving force behind significant initiatives at Hydrogen Europe and Indeloop. As a new board member of Hydrogen Europe, Danica will play a pivotal role in shaping policy and promotion of hydrogen technologies across the continent. At Indeloop, she leads efforts to innovate and implement hydrogen solutions, pushing the boundaries of clean energy. Danica, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ernest.
What motivated you to join Hydrogen Europe, and what role do you play in shaping its direction?
Well, I can generally say that I've been involved with working with Hydrogen Europe for the last 4 years. And getting to know the organization better and better, I see the important role it has in the global EU environment, hydrogen ecosystem. We from Indeloop, Docking Indeloop, we are a Croatian startup, SME, seeing an importance of including European SMEs in the hydrogen value chain in Europe. And for that reason, besides the reason that my personal belief is that hydrogen companies located in Central and Eastern Europe should get more visibility on the EU level, has motivated me to make this leap to get into the Hydrogen Europe and to see how to kickstart and further develop the SME environment, and to see how can we all benefit from future probably very intensive years in hydrogen development in EU.
Can you describe the key initiatives at Hydrogen Europe that you believe will significantly impact the hydrogen industry and also industry here?
Yes, of course. So what I believe is extremely important is to continue the European support for the research and development part of hydrogen ecosystem. Here, I see a great importance of introducing technology neutrality in hydrogen technologies and evaluation of hydrogen technologies. So not only looking at coupling renewables with electrolyzers as one of the most developed and well-known technologies, but as well including other carbon neutral, even carbon negative technologies, and including this of production of such hydrogen to the overall European targets in hydrogen production. As well, I see that there might be a greater importance of not only financially supporting the development, the research and development part, innovation part, but as well supporting the actual deployment part. So technologies are getting to the level that we actually need the hydrogen produced. And I see it's a great role of Hydrogen Europe to convey this message to the European Commission, and accordingly that to jointly with European Commission make the steps and make a framework for the greater deployment of actual projects and technologies in the following years in order to reach our targets for 2030 and further on towards 2050.
How does Hydrogen Europe facilitate collaboration across sectors to advance hydrogen technologies?
Well, looking at collaboration across sectors. So if we would see here different sectors that are from industry, transportation, to even, building, environment, infrastructure. So within, as we all know, within the hydrogen ecosystem, we have this problem of the chicken and the egg. So what comes first? Do we first make a production on one part and then make find the actual need for it, the final consumer, the supply part, or the other way around? So it's actually extremely important to try and convey all of these factors into one equation and to meet both the demand and the supply, and to make everything between demand and supply possible, thinking here of the infrastructure. So it's important to see the holistic overall picture and to try to have good timing and good approach for the deployment and an overall increase of hydrogen use across Europe, to be somehow coordinated. For this, it's extremely important to have this collaboration between different sectors. It is generally perceived, and I think that is right way, that hard-to-abate industries might be the best potential sector to implement larger supply and utilization of hydrogen, following by transportation sector, and then getting in other sector, general energy sector, going all the way possibly down to the final consumers in, for example, heating and somehow more of a retail sector. The targets that we have set in EU are extremely ambitious. So we can even now say that we might be lagging behind, and to jumpstart and kickstart it, concrete steps besides, strategies that we have, but connecting them with actual action plans and implementation plans would be of major importance in the following years. I think 2026 to 2028, and then 2030.
Let's get back to your role, your new role. What policy changes are you advocating for at Hydrogen Europe to accelerate the adoption of hydrogen energy?
Okay, so looking at policies, what we would need is maybe biggest thing that might happen in the following years will be in the area of certification. Hydrogen as what types of hydrogen we have, but as well as certification and all of the necessary processes for the uprise of the project. That will be extremely important. So this is not completely clear at this point. You might have a hydrogen project, for example, in Croatia, or maybe even in, I don't know, France or in Slovakia or Poland, and it would be still unclear what is a straightforward procedure to deploy such a project, for example, electrolyzer coupled with a PV plant. Is this going to consider to be one of the energy business activities? Do we need some sort of regulation or not on this part? So these are all big topics that we will be discussing in the following years. As well, from the side of energy systems, electricity systems, how would these facilities, if they would be considered to be facilities for the storage? So hydrogen is a secondary energy carrier. It's a storage like a battery. So if we would consider these facilities to be something for the energy balancing, how are we going to treat them? How are we going to treat the facilities that are not grid connected, that they're only dedicated to the to the production of hydrogen, as well as how to transport this hydrogen from the production sites to the final consumers. Here we see a great role of so-called hydrogen valleys that have been initiated by the Green Hydrogen Partnership. So all of this will be extremely important to set the things in hydrogen business. We have in EU partly already made this exercise with introduction of renewables, so there is certain experience on that part. But at the same time, I think we might need some simplification of the procedures. We need some mechanisms for a faster deployment because our time is actually getting shorter and shorter.
Let's address some challenges. From your perspective, what are the biggest challenges Hydrogen Europe faces today in promoting hydrogen?
That is an interesting question. So, what are the biggest challenges in promoting hydrogen? So, generally, hydrogen is quite well perceived. Still, there is a lack of knowledge. There are a lot of questions like, okay, hydrogen will come. There's sort of a joke that hydrogen has been fuel for the future forever. Yeah, so it's been fuel for the future for the last almost 100 years, and I think now is the point where we might actually see hydrogen becoming the fuel of the present and of the future. So to be done for the more general public to understand the importance and the role of hydrogen. There are big questions about the safety of hydrogen. Always there's, okay, this might be dangerous. It might be, something that might cause certain damage when used. How are you going to prevent that? So there is a need for sort of educational campaign on industry side, and Hydrogen Europe is the EU representative of the industry. As well, the incentive schemes should be more clear. So we witnessed the first auction for the hydrogen bank end of last year. It ended up in February. We are now expecting the second auction. So these projects are extremely capex intensive. And while there is not a certain market, the incentive is extremely important for them to see the light of day. As well, the defining of off-takers in different countries will be important. There are some easy-to-go sectors like public transportation. So if you would to have a project somewhere, anywhere in Europe, possibly if there is not a big industrial consumer close by, you might have a problem with off-taking, but still everywhere in Europe we have good public transportation networks, both in city transportation, possibly intercity transportation. So this is somewhere where the regulatory and with more incentive, EU can sort of push the member states to see these off-takers as ones that might kickstart the deployment of hydrogen. So these are all topics that we need to discuss in more details in the future days.
Can you comment on the European Court of Auditors hydrogen report?
Yes. So the Court of Auditors has actually confirmed the standpoint of Hydrogen Europe, that there needs to be more straightforward representation and guidelines into how to deploy hydrogen projects and how to treat the produced hydrogen within EU legislation. These days, we're witnessing the constitution of a new parliament and actually the new commission on the EU level. We believe that the new commission, together with the president and the vice president, will continue to see the importance of the Green Deal and to continue the works that have been started in the previous period. We within Hydrogen Europe believe that this will give further wind to the more detailed representation of hydrogen within the EU legislative framework.
Hydrogen Europe is often called a lobby. Who are they lobbying for?
Well, lobbying, it's not necessarily a negative thing. So what Hydrogen Europe is lobbying for is for the European hydrogen industry. So European hydrogen industry is getting their momentum for the last 3 years. Here we are trying to not only secure that Europe will be carbon neutral by 2050 or 2055, but that European technology, which is extremely important, the European industry will play a major important role globally. So in the past, with our potential competitors from Asia or for Northern America, we have witnessed that the know-how, European know-how, was actually drained out of Europe, and then that we actually now have a sort of a global competition market where some of European technologies that were developed in Europe are no longer in the industrial hands, let's say, of European industry. So that is an important role that Hydrogen Europe will play. So it's not only that we will be project developers within Europe and that we will use out of Europe technology to reach our goals. We want to have European brains and European produced technologies for that journey. And that's why this Made in EU is getting to be extremely important in the following period. That is one of the, let's say, main roles of Hydrogen Europe. On the part of my board membership, which is for SMEs, it's even extremely important to make this innovative startup environment in hydrogen technologies, in order for Europe to be competitive globally for the probably next 50 years in the overall energy sector.
How long do you believe this emerging market will need to be incentivized?
If we are going to look what happened in the renewable sector, so incentives in renewable sectors are existing, I think, for the last 25 years. So in hydrogen, we can expect this to be in this range, if not even a bit longer. But looking at the horizon in 2050, this is the horizon where we need to reach the carbon neutrality, and I think this horizon will need to projects and technologies within this horizon will need to be heavily subsidized in order to reach these targets.
Let's go back to Indeloop. What's the core mission of Indeloop within the hydrogen sector?
So Indeloop is somewhat different company. We are technology providers, but our technology is somewhat different than the mainstream hydrogen production technologies. What we aim to do in Indeloop is to make commercial technology for the production of hydrogen by thermochemical conversion of anorganic waste streams. So our technology is, our principle is, if we compare it to the electrolyzers, where we use electricity to split the water molecule to hydrogen and oxygen, in our process we use thermal energy to thermochemically split the hydrocarbon molecule to, again, hydrogen and carbon. In that sense, we want to keep the carbon, to lock the carbon in the solid residue, so it wouldn't slip into the environment, possibly contribute to the global warming. And on the other hand, we get hydrogen as a fuel of the future. We have one other additional benefit from our process, is that we are destroying unrecyclable waste streams. These waste streams consist of different feedstock that is today being either landfill, and thus in the long run emit to the atmosphere, or it's been conventionally incinerated in the conventional incinerators, and thus again producing certain emissions. These feedstocks are unrecyclable plastics. Around 40 to 50% of plastics is actually non-recyclable. It's not possible to technically or recycle it, or it's too expensive to do that. We work with waste of biogenic origin, which is biomass on the other hand, but we are doing a lot of work with waste sewage sludge from the wastewater treatment plants, which is sort of actually a renewable energy source. We work with textiles. Textile is one of the feedstock that has been globally least recycled. Only 1% of textile globally is being recycled. As well, we can work with medical waste and other municipal solid waste, other waste streams that have actually organic component. In that sense, we believe that our technology is complementary to the targets, and that we might solve two problems with one blow, as it's being said. So our goal is to try to reach the full commercialization in the next 2 to 3 years. Here we have support from the Commission. We have actually one innovation fund on the last call, so we are looking to scale up in the next few years and to prove our technology.
How does Indeloop approach innovation and competition in the hydrogen market?
Indeloop is actually a spin-off of 30 years existing innovative technology robotics company. So we know how to innovate products. Our approach is always, problem-solving approach. So our approach started with this problem of unrecyclable waste. Here might be one interesting that Croatia is the only EU country besides Malta and Cyprus that doesn't have an incineration plant. There are overall something like 500 incineration plants all over Europe. So our problem was this: what to do with unrecyclable waste. So we don't want incineration plants. We see them as bad for the environment. Okay, we don't want landfilling as well. So what can we do? And this is how we came to our concept and our solution that we are trying to develop now. We have proven it on the pilot scale, and we are looking to scale up here. Our assessment, for example, for Croatia, is that if we might use all of unrecyclable waste streams in Croatia to produce hydrogen and then further support the overall electricity market, our contribution could be as much as up to 12%, which we consider to be quite significant. And we can maybe, use the same same shares that might contribute to EU level as well.
Have you developed any partnerships?
Yes, we have been partnering up with E.ON. E.ON is one of the biggest European energy companies, electricity and energy companies. They have recognized our technologies as promising future hydrogen technologies, and we are entering a joint venture and further developing our technology specific for the Swiss sludge with E.ON, and we hope that this partnership will roll out and in future reach all of the EU member states to contribute to the goal of hydrogen production.
What do you consider the most promising aspect of hydrogen technology today?
The most promising aspects, there might be even a few. One is that they are carbon neutral, so we are at the point where our climate is going probably to get completely changed in the following years if we don't do something now. So that is one of the aspects that is extremely important. And the other aspect is that Europe is not rich in space to have a lot of renewables to fully electrify as well. There are not all sectors that can be electrified, and we are not rich in reserve energies, but we even don't want to use them. So introducing hydrogen to the overall energy sector and other different sectors will increase the security of supply and energy resilience of European market. Those globally and geopolitically will make Europe even stronger and more independent.
How do you balance your technical and managerial responsibilities with your new role in Hydrogen Europe and your other roles in innovating?
Yeah, it is a journey that just started. So for now, the balancing wasn't that challenging. But in the next 3 years, as long as my mandate should last within the board of directors of Hydrogen Europe, I believe that my timing will change, and that I will have to, and I want to spend more time in working for the board. But at the same time, I have a great team in Zagreb, and we are even increasing our capacities and introducing new excellent and scientists and young researchers. And I hope that as time will go by, activities with innovation will be more straightforward, and we will have our procedures here on place, and hopefully within my mandate in the board we will even commercialize our first facility. So timing is not that bad. Hopefully it will all be manageable.
You mentioned E.ON. How critical is international cooperation in achieving global goals in hydrogen?
Yeah, I think it's critical for us from Croatia. Croatia is a small country and a small market, and our membership in EU has been extremely beneficial for the overall Croatian economy. And for us, coming from Croatia, our long-term strategy and goal is, of course, first European market, and then global market. So E.ON is on the other side, the global player. It is an energy company. We are not an energy company. We are technology providers. So our reach and our deployment to different markets would be extremely limited if we wouldn't have such a strong partner. So here we see great benefits from our partnership, and we hope that it will be a success story.
What do you consider your most fulfilling achievement in hydrogen energy?
Hard questions today. I think the most fulfilling and the most important achievement was our wrapping up a 1-ton reactor within the Norwegian grant. So this was a great moment where we have actually proven our production facilities and targets in the actual setup, which gave us a lot of confidence that we are actually working the right thing. The other thing that I think is important, and it's more a local story, but within Croatia 2 years ago, we managed to establish an association of Croatian hydrogen industry. Where we have something close to 100, not more, but close to 100 members, which is actually quite important thing for Croatian industry, and then this Croatian industry being part of larger EU industry, for us to get a strong network and to exchange our standpoints, projects, ideas, collaborations, and so on.
Danica, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you, Ernest. Happy to be your guest, and hopefully we will have a new talk in a few years with new success stories
And new experiences.
Yes. Yes.